To prepare for Rebel Moon 2 that's supposed to hit Netflix sometime this year. I don't know if it's this month or next month. I think it's next month. I figure I'll go ahead and do a review of Rebel Moon Part 1. I had all intentions to do this on my very first video on this channel, but as you can see, it's not there. And I can explain why it's not there and give my thoughts and review of Rebel Moon Part 1. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into this review of Rebel Moon Part 1. Now, as I said earlier, I really wanted this review to be my very first movie review on this channel, but as you can see, it's not there. And the reason for it is, I think it was released like 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And I was all motivated. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get all set up. After I watched it, I had no opinion at all of what I just saw. And I was just speechless. And usually that never happens. Usually I can talk about something, maybe 2-minute, 3-minute spiel of what I think about the movie or show or something. But I had no opinions. So I was like, well, I guess that won't be my very first video on my YouTube channel. And I sat on it for a while, and I only watched it once, but I didn't need to watch it a second time. I knew what took place, and I didn't need to rewatch it to get a different perspective because I knew what I watched. I just didn't know how to explain it. Again, this won't be a spoiler, so you don't have to worry about it. If you're a little bit interested in this movie, go ahead and watch it, and I'll just give you my humbled opinion of this movie. Now, you might know, now this is a rumor, I don't know if it's confirmed, but rumored was that Zack Snyder had an idea for a Star Wars movie, and he pitched the idea to Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm said no, and Netflix eventually said yes. Now, from my understanding, it was a hard R of a movie, and of course he had to change it from Star Wars theme to something else because you don't get copyright issues with that. So he had to change it around. Well, also the hard R, there's going to be a director's cut for Part 1 and Part 2 in July, I believe he said. So, and you know how Zack Snyder, he is notorious for a director's cut. But going into this movie, I wouldn't say I had high hopes. I wouldn't say that. I didn't say. I'll just say I was curious. I was just a little curious on what kind of story that Zack Snyder would do if he had Star Wars. You see what I'm saying? If he had that opportunity, what kind of story would he tell? So he had. I don't know if I don't know for sure if I was confirmed. It probably is. I just too lazy to confirm that. But anywho, so. Getting to the movie, the first hour was really good. It was really, really good. After that, it fell flat for me. Now, and I'll explain why. But first, it's the main character. She wasn't a girl boss. She didn't, she had certain strength and stuff like that. And it didn't take me out of the story because of that, because it showed that she was trained by that particular empire or whatever the group was called. So I can see her knowing certain things and certain parts of, how to move and how to defeat enemies and so on and so forth. I didn't have issues. She was probably the only character in the whole movie that I actually enjoyed, that I actually had anything that I cared about. Everybody else that basically is in a nutshell she is a kind of a girl that's on this planet and she's farming this land kind of thing, and she has to defeat the Empire. So she has to go find some people that can help her defeat the Empire. And the I think it's 3 or 4 people that she has to go, maybe 5, to ask if they can join the Empire or join the rebellion to defeat the Empire. each person they introduced was just super rushed. I mean, I didn't have time to care who they are, what they do, and it was just super rushed the last hour. I didn't have no investment in the character or the story. Like I said, the first hour was really good. The way Zack Snyder shoots his film is awesome. I always enjoy them. They're really good, and it's kind of an artsy kind of stuff. I can enjoy it. Now I'm thinking, well, maybe in part in the director's cut, it might make up for that. I'm not gonna hold my breath on that, but maybe the director's cut, he'll have a better. Maybe they'll flush out the characters better. They have a better idea why we should care. Now, from my understanding, in Rebel Moon Part 2, there's more action. It's war, as he says, in this one. Well, guess we'll find out. But I just really want to just go ahead and do a quick video and give my take on Rebel Moon 1. And also, I guess it's, I should have said at the beginning, but it is, all in all, a very middle movie. It's like I heard when I was watching it and I was trying to find a word for it, there was a guy that I follow on YouTube. Is Jody's Corner. Give him a sub if you get a chance. He deserves to have 100,000 subs. He only has like 70, I think. He needs more than that. He deserves a whole lot more. Anyways, I hear in my head him saying it was mediocre, and I was like, yeah, that's definitely mediocre. I would never call a movie mediocre, but that one is such a mid. It wasn't the worst and it wasn't the best. It was split down the middle. Usually I try my best to find something good out of a movie. With this one, I think it was shot very well. That's the only thing I can say. The writing, I think it was rushed. I really, really don't know if he had to cut a lot out to get rid of that hard R for Netflix. I do not know, but it was okay. If I was to rate, to give it a grade, and like I said before, how I do grades is if it's a fast food experience or a sit-down restaurant experience or a convenience store food experience. This one is a convenience store experience. It is a day-old chicken biscuit that you was starving and you needed something to eat. And you got that and a lukewarm bottle of water. A bottle of water that just, yeah. So I know that's pretty harsh, but it just didn't do anything for me. I forgot about it the next day. I was trying to I went to bed trying to find an opinion because I couldn't land on anything. I just couldn't. But anywho, that's not the point. But I just figured I'd go ahead and do this review real quick and just talk about my opinions and then prepare for Rebel Moon Part 2. And I probably will do a review of the director's cut as well and see how that goes too. All right, I guess we'll find out what the future may hold with that. I guess we're done for today. I'll catch y'all later.